The Box by J.C. Welch. Chapter 8. I was out, and I still am out. Out as opposed to in. If I wasn't out, I wouldn't feel that lovely breeze outside. I don't have windows built into the box, but I did have a hole that I had to cover up because the rain was getting in. Rain wasn't invited. I had to close the door on it. Snow is fine, but not rain. Rain can't fool me. Freezing rain can't come in either. Nor can sleet or hail. I was out, but I was also out of money. I couldn't do much, but at least the park was free. I don't know when they started charging people for using the seesaw, but I couldn't get down. I had to sleep on that thing until I realized I could just jump down. I jumped down, and the cop stopped me. He told me to get back on the seesaw until I was able to pay the toll. I asked him how I was able to work to pay for the toll if I was on the seesaw. The cop just laughed and walked away. That laugh didn't answer my question, but it gave me an idea. I bought a lot of food so I could gain weight and get down. I tried to run away though, but the cop eating the donut caught up to me and put me back on the seesaw. I ran out of ideas, and I was winded because of it. It took me half an hour to catch my breath, and I realized it would take me a while to catch anything as big as I was. I had to trick my breath to catch it, and after that I was winded. Back on the seesaw again. I was getting a nosebleed. I started thinking about the box and how I missed it. I could still see it all alone in the alley. I actually could still see it. I even tried yelling. It didn't have ears, so it was pointless. Finally the box knew something was wrong and went looking for me, but was moving in the wrong direction. I cried through the pain of the box moving the wrong way and my bloody nose. Blood and tears. Tears and blood. The cop felt sorry for me, so he let me off with a warning. I went back to the alley to see if the box was there. Sadly, the box was still out looking for me. I waited and waited, but I was just repeating myself. It didn't come back, so I had to move forward and look for it. I swear all the boxes looked the same from the outside, so I had to look inside every box too. Please remind me that when I find the box, to write something on the outside of it to tell it apart from the other boxes. Like I should write fragile on the side or something. Fragile isn't a common word, so that should work. P.U. I went into some smelly boxes though, but none of them were my smelly box. When I finally found the box, it hadn't moved at all. I looked around the city for 12 days for nothing, but I met some nice people along the way. I met a killer named Not Nice. I think he was German. He put a plastic bag over my head to stop the bleeding from the gunshot wound he accidentally put in the back of my head. Then I met the doctor who played doctor with me late at night. Then I met this really skinny guy named Death, who was really good at Clue. He always knew who killed who. I also think he was an anorexic model or something because he never ate. He also had naked photos of himself all over the place, and they looked professionally done. But yeah, I met some nice people. I finally found the box after dragging myself to the alley after being beat up by a bunch of high school cheerleaders. Don't ask. I crawled into the box and licked my wounds for a few days. My tongue felt like carpet afterwards, but I felt better than I did. Those cheerleaders sure do kick hard, but they still slap like girls. They also threw me like a girl too, underhanded. They looked nice, but they were actually mean. All I wanted was a kiss, but they must have thought I said kick. They took turns kicking and slapping me. Then they threw me in the dumpster, but it smelled familiar. That's how I knew I was home. That's what I had told the box what had happened. It believed me, and I rested before eating. I ran up to the store because I thought the story was going to end before I had a chance to eat. I don't want to end the story hungry and starving at the same time. Hungry is one thing, but starving is something totally different. I had to arm wrestle a sailor for the last pork chop and lost. I lost to a vegetarian, and I really wanted that pork chop too. Then I remember I didn't like pork chops, and I was happy again. I was still hungry though. I picked up some Cracker Jacks, Apple Jacks, applesauce, and an applause after getting out of the bathroom after holding up the line for 3 hours. I shouldn't have had those cheese samples. I shouldn't have bought those cheese samples afterwards either. I haven't pooped in 3 weeks, and I'm starting to get a little worried.
Oh, I have to go now. Nope, it was just a fart. Man, I wish I could poop. I've been pooping air every week for 3 weeks. I need to stop eating air. I feel like a balloon. I floated away and popped and pooped out all the cheese. It still wasn't digested, so it still tasted good. Why'd I eat all that cheese again? Because now I'll be cutting it for the next 3 weeks again. I was outside the box because of all the cheese farts I had in the box. The box wasn't happy with me and told me to stay away from it. I was thrown out of the box now. I mean, it was bad enough that my wife threw me out of the house. I was mad and full of hot gas. It was eating me up inside, and so was the fact that I was thrown out of the box. I felt so angry that I farted again and then blew up again. Blowing up feels good at first, but then you don't feel anything. I gathered my pieces and went into the box. The box figured I wouldn't be farting, seeing how I didn't have a whole butt anymore, and I didn't have a butthole either. It was Sunday, and it was rainy. So I pulled the puzzle pieces out of the box and tried to put the pieces back together again. The pieces were getting soaked, so I put the pieces back in the box. I pulled out the card table and placed the pieces on the table. I put all the ends together and filled in the rest. As it turned out, I was missing some pieces. I was missing my right lung, my left cheek, my right wrist, my left ear, my right eyebrow, my left elbow, my right thigh, my left ankle, my right butt cheek, my hair, my thumbs, and my chin. Also my top lip and the bottom of my feet were gone too. I was half a man, and I was a ma now. I had a baby, but they took it away. They said I was unfit to be a mother, but I was a ma. If there would have been 2 of me, I would have been a mama. Then I would have been able to keep my child. I had no milk anyway. I ran out of it. I drank it all, and I couldn't afford to buy more. I was living in a box after all, and I couldn't do much with a box. Maybe that's why women get paid less than men do, or maybe it's because I'm too stupid to get a job. It's not like I have a choice of being stupid. I was born that way. If I could control my brain, I would do it. If I had a brain, I'd use it. What was I talking about again? What page am I on? What story is this? Oh yeah, boxing, right? Yeah, I was boxing with this guy, and he knocked my liver out of my mouth. It was a bad idea to eat liver while boxing, but I was hungry. He punched me and it hurt. I didn't want to play anymore, so I ran away. I crawled inside the box to hide from the boxer, and I didn't realize there was a whole other world inside. Deja vu. Didn't this happen already? I don't think that it did, but I have this strong feeling. I played with the pink bunnies because the dead pop stars were dead and aren't very nice. I chased the bunnies all around, and they laughed. Yeah, these bunnies laughed. They could talk too, but some of them were pretty shy and didn't say much. I got tired and went to sleep. I woke up not knowing where I was, and then I remembered I was in my house and in my bed. I don't know why it didn't look familiar to me, but it still didn't after 16 years. Maybe it was because I was upside down and I was walking on the ceiling fan. You know those ceiling fans can't hold a whole lot of weight despite what you see on TV. I've really got to clean the ceiling one of these days. It's really gross up here. Cobwebs are all over my feet, and how does dust land up here anyway? I tried to cling to the wall to get down, but the box was stuck on something. I had to find the door and get out, but the exit was on the floor. I was trapped inside. I couldn't breathe. "Help!" I screamed, yet I couldn't talk. I had to call 911, but forgot the number. I passed out, and yet I was in the box. Out passed me, and I passed gas. Then I smelled gas, and I passed out again. Or maybe I died, but it felt like passing out. I felt without feeling, and I woke up without sleeping. I dreamt I was stuck in the box, and I couldn't get out. I dreamt my wife pushed over the box, and I rolled down a hill. I was stuck in the box when that happened, and caved all the sides in. Now I was stuck in the box with even less space to breathe. Also, the opening was still on the ground. I was losing air fast, and I was starting to get hungry. I couldn't eat the air, I needed it to breathe. There was only one thing left to do. I had to eat the box. I had to eat my best friend, and my home. It tasted like a tombstone pizza, but I managed to get it down. Now I was full and homeless. The box was being digested as I wrote this. and the world inside was lost forever. Until 2 days later, when I went into a gas station and pooped out a shoebox. I was so disappointed it didn't have the shoes inside. Just the wrapping and the price tag. I had to pay $20 for a pair of shoes I didn't even have. How does a box shrink in your stomach anyway? Probably the same way bacon shrinks when you cook them, and the way clothes shrink in the laundry. I have to live in a shoebox now, but at least it looked the same inside. I couldn't believe I could fit in it. I must have huge feet, but very small everything else. Yeah, but everything was back to normal, and small. Prince was still too short to climb inside the shoebox, so I had to help him. He thanked me, and it began to rain purple. The orange sky was covered in green clouds. The red grass was growing, and the blue wind was blowing. I got wet, but purple rain dries faster than normal rain. I was dry before the rain stopped, and then I took a shower. I smelled tuna, and I was getting ready to eat myself when there was a knock at the door. It was the IRS, and they said I hadn't paid taxes in 7 years. I told them that was impossible. I hadn't been living for more than 4 years. Plus, I hadn't made any money in 10 years because of an illness. I was sick and tired of the IRS, and that was my illness. It's like a cold, except without the stuffy nose. Needless to say, I was forced to pay the taxes, and then I killed myself to get the refund check. I bought a beautiful casket with the money, and the box a brand new pair of shoes to put in it. We were both happy, and I didn't have to pay taxes anymore. The casket was a bit uncomfortable, so I moved back into the box again. I got some new roommates, and I even got to see them naked. How do you see shoes naked? I guess that's when you see them without the laces. I suppose that's pretty hot. Watching them take a shower together, very nice. What a couple of dirty shoes. Aw, man, I gotta start another paragraph now. I was really getting comfortable with that last paragraph, too. Where was I? Oh yes, The Box, by J.C. Welch. Wait, that's not my name. J.C. Welch? Published by Free Literature Printing. That's not right. Free the Monkeys Publishing? That's left. Okay, The Box. Box the... Can't you tell that I'm running out of things to say? Why won't this story end? Why don't I get invited to parties? Probably because I'm a party pooper. No, really, I actually poop parties. Sometimes my butt sounds like a party favor, but in that case I could blow a party favor with my butt. I know that's nasty, but that's probably why I don't get invited to parties. So I answered my own question, but when will this story end? How much more can I say about a box? The box is good, and this is such a great story. People are really gonna like it, and the box will become famous and star in movies with Tom Cruise. The box will become a household name, and they will have the box cereal that will have a box-shaped box. See, it's already started. Box Mania. I was paid to say everything in this paragraph, but it wasn't very much. So I want to take everything back I said in this paragraph. That includes this sentence. I was sitting in the box one day, minding my own business, when my wife started yelling at me. I threw her out of the box in just her underwear and bra. I told her that this was my house, and she kicked me in my face and said to never touch her again. I told her that it was kind of hard not to touch her when she was kicking me in the face. She told me to shut up and continued to kick me in the face. Afterwards she left, and I crawled back into the box. She messed up the box too. She broke the TV screen, and she caved in the couch. She chopped my table in half and stole my refrigerator. She threw out all my food, and she broke my mirror. Wait, I really do look like that. Wow, I look terrible. I should really see a doctor. Too bad I can't afford it. Another chapter down. So yeah, if you enjoyed that narration, give me a like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you next chapter.